It's a pretty good approach. Well, Joyful works streaming as well. He's going to stream the what?
He's going to stream the actual tournament. Also, hello to the entire community of Scrolls that are watching the stream. Hello and welcome to today's Mind Over Matter tournament. We will be starting in half an hour, or 26 minutes and 20 seconds as I'm talking. Probably going to be a bit later for you because of stream delay. I hope we can make this happen. And thank you all for joining and thank you all for playing. I hope we can make this all work. If you have any trouble watching the stream, let me know in the chat. That's why we have this half an hour, so we can fix these issues, yeah? Thank you.
Okay. Pretty official, pretty good. Work by Cubes. Whoever is talking now, boost your mic with 100%. Squiddy has literally no interpretation of of how stream delay works. So this is gonna be fun, huh? Maybe? I don't know. So can they hear us talking now? Just to clarify. Okay, good. Just checking. Because I was just away getting some water before the stream. Gonna have to sort out some issues before. I'm assuming everyone else is away doing something as well. Maybe. Just talking to people in Skype, don't mind me. Oh, great. Everyone boost your mics. What? What's that even? What? And for some reason, the stream's still... That should be better? Maybe?
Hello, I am back with water.
Oh.
Hey, Zach.
If
Just setting up the stream, getting bitrate issues sorted out, talking to people in chat.
Bitrate issues. Wonderful bitrate issues.
Yeah. And mic issues too.
Oh, really? Who's having problems?
Huh? No, just generally like getting it in accordance with the music and everything.
Ah, I see.
And bouncing people's mics out. I mean, it sounds okay on Skype, but whether or not it's on stream, who knows?
Do we turn off the music for the actual matches?
Yeah. This is getting really confusing really quickly.
It's not that confusing, actually.
It's confusing from our angle, and it's confusing to people on the stream.
Oh, I guess.
You know, I mean, we understand it perfectly because we can hear everyone, but for some reason, Cubes has muted himself on stream, and so this is why are you muted?
He's muted for reasons.
For reasons, yes.
For reasons.
So we've got the bracket, got the deck lists. We have
The
all
mom
public.
will drop up an undisclosed package to be used for the mom tournament.
Is there enough?
It's too meta. Do we play matches at the same time? Yes. Yes, you do. Same time.
Is there enough delay on the stream? I just muted my mic so I can listen to the stream.
Well, you see, the delay on the stream isn't exactly important because the spectator matches has a 5-minute delay built into them.
We have a 5-minute delay on the matches.
The only problem,
like a
the
30-second stream
I don't
delay.
mean for the playing. I mean for the technical side. Like, this is we're stacking delays because we're watching it on a spectator mode. But I meant on the technical portion. If you're dropping, frames and should you consider more delay or what?
Your microphone.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine for me. In terms of bitrate, this is good.
Yes, we'll have 4 hosts observing 4 different matches. What could possibly go wrong?
Many things. Oh god. Don't worry, it'll be fine. And what? Orangey can't join the call? Someone isn't wearing headphones. Who are these three other scrubs with Powell Keith? Powell shoot, whatever.
Oi, Dranrib, I will end you.
What, with Mez?
No, I will end his reputation. I will end this reputation by constantly crapping on him in the cast.
Oh.
So the question is Dranreb making fun of you guys or me?
Well, we are the
making fun
three
of
other
everyone.
scrubs, and so that, by extension, means you're not the scrub, right?
Kind of?
Yeah, but it could be like he's calling me a scrub because I'm hanging out with all of you. And
Yeah,
he's
the
looking-
three other scrubs. I see. It might just be a general insult to all of us. I think we have to disqualify him. Anonymous, you're in again.
By great conclusion.
How is he in again? Also, hello again, stream.
Oh,
It was a joke. It was a
it's
joke.
a joke, don't worry.
Joke.
Oh, I see.
Is Joyful going to stream the tournament? We assume so, right?
Well, it's his own.
Simon, I think he's going to. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm
streamed
fairly certain
already,
he's going
so.
This
Yeah.
is Card Ninja.
Hello, I'm Card Ninja.
We are not having Superb Simon on this call. Sorry, Superb Simon. It's not because we like you just didn't sign up. Also, you're in the tournament, so you're actually not allowed.
This is a great start.
Oi, Carl fan. It's not a sock. Wait, actually, it's a sock deck now. Okay.
Apparently. I mean, if we're not calling it a monostructure gender, we're just calling it a Zark deck.
Wow.
I'm writing in Scout check. Yes.
Tournament starts in 20 minutes. We cannot hear you, RNG. You can read your text though.
What?
We can't read his text either. We can read his chat text, not the actual Skype chat.
Wow.
I thought he meant the chat. Oh, this is so complicated. All this techno nonsense.
What is going on? So why is it called Mind Over Matter? That's a good question.
Where?
The reason it's called Mind Over Matter is because Squiddy put me on the spot and asked for a name, and I was like,
And you were very. I remember you being very clear that the acronym had to be MOM. Like
Yes.
What?
you were very explicit at the time.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
you had
Mom
to find
has
some-
to be
It
there.
had to be the acronym.
There was
Of
no
course.
other way.
There's no-
It's
yes.
the mom tournament.
People, little do people
actually-
know, it's a tournament that Cubes is dedicated to his mom.
Oh.
Aw.
It was actually, it actually made sense to me at the time because considering that everybody has everybody's deck lists, the
Mend the materia and all that.
yeah, like all the players act on like perfect information, regard it as like they know all the deck lists that everybody has. So they know if the opponent like plays, let's say, Thunder Surge. They know if they need to play around that or not. That way, the players can make interesting game decisions that they wouldn't do otherwise without knowing that his opponent doesn't run Thunder Surge, for instance, right?
Yeah.
Apparently,
Is that alright?
Yes, it just made some sound.
It made some interesting sounds at first. But should
The
be
way the sideboard works, for everybody who doesn't know, you cannot use any cards from your sideboard in the first match against every new opponent. The first time you play against a new player, you must use the deck that you submitted without any sideboard changes. Then you're allowed to sideboard in between the first and the second game and the second and the third game. And for the finals, of course, also the fourth or fifth. Like the third or fourth and the fourth or fifth game, right? Yes.
Yes, yes.
The same for the bronze match.
Dranreb apparently can't make it. That's not good.
You're kidding me, right, Dranreb?
He did say, but seriously. Oh, yeah. No, he seems pretty serious.
Are you serious, Dranro?
Oh,
Damn it.
why, Dranra? Why?
You could not have told us this an hour earlier.
No, he, told us,
Precisely.
he gave us a whole 17 minutes. It's fine.
Is there another mouse around?
Dranro,
It's already
I
submitted.
just want to confirm, you can't play in the tournament, yes or no?
He says yes now. Oh no. Wait.
I
No,
hope-
he can play in the tournament, or yes, he can't play in the tournament.
I hope he's screwing with us.
Hmm.
Please be screwing with us.
Well, in IRC, there is, an anonymous mouse.
Quick!
So, if you
Ping
want to,
him.
like,
Ping him. Ping the mouse!
catch him. Get him.
Mr. Cubes is already on.
Oh, we've got an acronym finder. Great. Cubes pressured me into signing up. Wow.
God damn it,
This tournament's
Dranrep. You
got
need to.
everything.
God damn it, Dranrep. Find your spine!
God damn it.
Find your spine. I thought he was an NG player, not a decay player. This is great.
Oh my god.
Squiddy, really? I'm sorry, in the mom room. It's okay, I'll get a replacement. General 1. I'm looking for a replacement. We'll just get a random dude. Don't worry, it's fine.
All the
No.
truth comes out.
Squiddy, if anything, Anonymous is taking over. That is the only fair thing to do.
Everybody,
Can Anonymous
Oh,
take
no.
over?
everybody must
I'm
know.
asking him, but I don't know.
Everybody must know that Cubes kidnapped Blanco's family.
I did.
Such tragedy.
He's keeping me
You
in
don't even want to know what I did to Dino Plant's grandma.
Oh no.
That basement.
Is she extinct?
Well, I'm just saying, that basement, those change, and that bed. Just saying. Made him watch.
Chris, let me out of the cage. Let me out of the
Stop,
cage,
Simone.
man.
Simone is really trying to push the idea that he can get a buy. I mean,
Well, would you
Dranrep.
expect him
he
not
pushes
to?
hard enough.
Come on, if it's your cousin's birthday and you know this is the date for the tournament, why did you sign up again?
So wait,
Because you kidnapped his family.
I didn't kidnap Dranrop's family. I don't have his address.
He admits it.
We were gonna spectate your game!
how can you deny Anonymous though? Like, the
Particularly
guy
high
drew
pitched.
Siege Cracker eating soup.
Wait, what? Siege
Anonymous
crackers.
drew a picture of the Siege Cracker eating soup. You get it? 'Cause he's a Siege Cracker. So, like,
Antirad,
No.
is it possible that you could play since Anonymous is not responding?
Anonymous?
I don't know, man.
Anonymous.
Anonymous.
God damn it, Dranrep.
This is pretty.
Is this the point where everyone just rebels and is saying, like, no, I don't want to play anyway?
Oh no, we haven't repeated the bragging brawl.
Yes! Except this
What's
time it's an
that?
individual tournament, so it's not
Dragons
just...
isn't here. Everyone panic, get your pitchforks.
Andrew, I can play! Quick!
Antirad,
Quick.
get a debt.
Sign him up.
Send me your debt
Get your
list
his
and
family.
your sideboard.
Incidentally, this means we need to change the brackets.
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
So, as soon as Antarad has sent in his deck on sideboard, we'll shuffle up the brackets to prevent particular deck sniping as much as possible. Hopefully Antarad won't be spying on the decks because we trust him, but just to be certain. Besides, I don't think you can prepare for all the
this
decks.
is a sad conclusion that we had to make because Dranreb is a scrub and a dupe and other bad words and a mangonel hater. Jesus.
Don't worry, there's a first time own. There's only like what's the
Cubes.
chance?
Yes.
Can you invite Orangey to the
But
Skype call?
He's not casting though. He was only in the call because
Yeah.
he was here last week.
Oh, okay. Because he thinks we hate him now. So sad.
We don't.
I think it's a 1 out of 56, but 1 out of 56 chance that the Suburbside Monk gets matched against him. But then again, the math I do in my head is usually
Too
wrong.
many scrubs on the dance floor.
Okay, we have 12 minutes to fix this.
Go, 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 go.
Go.
We have reshoveled the brackets.
Reshuffle.
No. Antirad just took over for Drano. He just
Okay,
changed
how
the
about
name.
This is professional.
Guys,
You
You didn't reshuffle the
on the
brackets
bright
at all.
side, this might mean we get some order in the tournament.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been pretty chaotic so far.
In before Anti-Red runs Scavamavore, Draining Mist Decay.
Don't worry, everyone's running that. It's fine. Leaky's purple. 2/5 of the decks on the scroll are hidden. Nice. Sideboard is 10 scrolls, yes. Although, Cubes has got you. Now when we say 10 scrolls, let's hope he understands what 10 scrolls is.
It's not 10 triplicates. It's
Yeah, it's 10 scrolls. Not
I mean,
many
it would
more
be
scrolls.
it would be an interesting experiment if we had just mine over mana be 10 triplicates. There's like,
think just have a
30
separate
30
deck.
cards.
Pretty much.
I mean,
30
we make the sideboard as large as the deck.
No. So
Yes.
then we might as well have a double deck tournament. Is that what
No, we make. You can know, and then. Yeah, that will probably be what happens.
can I just sideboard any scroll in my fact?
You can sideboard any scroll outside your faction as well if you want
Yeah,
to.
you can sideboard
Ooh.
everything.
Oh, just gonna sideboard nutrition all the time, every day.
Yeah, well we had... Who sideboarded the bunny? When they were playing Decay? Oh, that was joyful.
Ranrup, that's a scumbag move. Fuck you.
I agree. Fuck you, Drano.
All part of his plan to get out of the tournament so he didn't have to play against
Banned
Blight.
from all future Squiddy tournaments.
Yes.
Ooh.
Mass banned.
Scathing.
Scathing?
He won't be able to live his life.
So, anti-rad is in?
Orange's
Yes.
first question. So where did you
So-
guys get the fancy scrolls textured boxes?
So, if anti-rad is in this tournament, I only have,
Orange, it's all thanks to you. We love you.
if anti-rad is in this tournament, I only have one thing to say.
Yes.
By the way, Antirad, can you please play Order?
No. If he plays Temple Order, he's just gonna take the tournament.
That's fine.
No. Add his decks to the arc thingy.
Who's watching things?
What is happening?
What
What's
just
happening?
I
going
can
on?
be the only one.
Oh, he's not
Anti-rad
playing
is
Order.
in the tournament. There can be only one.
So loud.
Ow.
I agree.
It's all decay and energy.
He's
That's
got a
true.
growth deck.
We've got a growth deck. Never mind.
Color Plant, you are the savior of the tournament.
Mhm.
Woohoo! Go growth!
Here's a plan. After all.
Secretly voting for new plant.
New plant? Dino plant?
Dude,
Color plant? Who knows?
I don't even know, man.
We're getting...
Shrek.
Yeah.
I vote Shrek.
Okay. We almost have as many people as Joyful in stream.
Oh my god. Accomplishments.
Whoa, this is trippy. My GUI for Linux has 4 different desktops, and Skype is now on all 4 of them.
Yes.
Oh god.
You're making noise.
Ooh.
What? Is there
Making
a
noise.
static or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
The tournament's just gonna collapse around us.
better?
Like, we finally got entered and then at the last minute, like 10 seconds after we've introduced them, someone's just gonna be like, I'm dropping out. I can't do this.
No, we have your family. You're forced to play. Do it. Is there a bracket? There is a bracket. There you go. Cubes is on this. He's got it.
better?
Yes.
So quiet.
Some of us don't shout when we speak.
Oi. Just because my voice is like 30 decibels over the normal human beings doesn't mean you can discriminate against me.
He makes a good point. Choose a badge for the winner. Ooh.
I cannot see your deck.
Yay.
Look at all these fancy badges.
But I'm gonna have to.
We are having
And
database
I
troubles
cannot-
at the moment.
yes.
Please try again in a few minutes. Yes!
Orange, I think we might need your help.
It's collapsing.
So the mom tournament.
An anonymous in chat.
It
Yes.
is only that for... Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, Anonymous. Problem was that Dranreb apparently couldn't play now. So we had, like, to find us, like, a person to play within, like, 15 minutes. Sorry.
I ran as a massive scumbag. I couldn't have told us sooner.
What are you talking about? The deck's fine for me.
Well,
Now
Link.
it's fine for me as well.
Okay, good.
Good, it's fine.
How
All is
about
good.
this? Well, I need to download these images now, so...
Yes.
Fuck you, Dranreb!
Well, we could just, not spectate the match.
Yes, somebody edited the Google Doc. When they crossed out Dranreb, it says coward in the F column.
Yeah. It's a secret hidden column.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Additional notes. Coward.
Okay, what are the new brackets? We haven't gotten those yet.
Brackets are exactly
Oh.
the same.
Oh,
And to add simply replaced Dranreb.
Really? You're not
No.
gonna...
Dranreb's
that's-
gone to the dark side.
We need to shuffle the brackets because Antirate could have looked at that. Has probably looked at the brackets, right?
I guess.
We have to reshuffle them.
No, the brackets are supposed to be public information.
Yes, but not before you submit your deck.
Well,
Well, given the
I don't
circumstances...
know. It's...
That's the least we could do. I mean, that's
I
not.
guess, but Anti-Rad's already joined the dark side. Like, look what he's playing. He's probably not going to sideboard ever anyways.
What is weighing?
He's playing, he's playing a really aggressive energy deck. Lots of, not energy, aggro with, growth. Playing really aggressive aggro deck.
He's
with
playing
lots
the
of-
well-known faction Aggro.
Aggro,
The horse from that one
I
game.
don't know. I think aggro. I'm like, oh hey, look, it's the growth symbol that looks like a pot leaf.
Brackets have been shuffled.
So
Guys, it's fine.
Okay, new matchups: Blinky versus Excalibur.
What?
Match 2: Anti-Red versus Starks.
Ah,
Match C: Colorplan versus Joyful Rogue. Match Banana: The Superb Simone versus Ghost Bomb.
match banana?
I couldn't.
Banana.
Well, I was like, match 1, match B, match 3, match Banana.
Well, okay, letters and numbers, but then banana? I mean, is it for scale? I don't even know what's
So
going on.
what game would you guys like us to watch first?
This is-
Should we
it's a
watch
correction.
Let's just have a,
Simone Ghost Bomb? We could also watch
I'm digging
Colorplant
Simone
versus Joyful
Ghost-
Rogue. We will watch Blinky versus Excalibur.
They're all pretty good matches.
well,
And
I'd like to
Brad
see.
versus
Simone,
Esther.
I'd like to see a Simone Ghost Bomb because I think that's going to get ugly.
Okay, so we're
Simone
gonna
Ghost-
watch
can you
Ghost
go-
Bomb Simone. So
Okay.
the deck list that we have aren't very far off.
No
just a
pressure, Simone.
reminder that this is the Mind Over Matter tournament. A tournament that aims to blur the... to up...
You're
so
making
that
noise
spices
again.
up the general format of the Scrolls tournament. By giving
Yeah.
everyone perfect information about the opponent's decks. Everyone has their one deck that they've submitted, and then they have a 10 card sideboard, which then can splash in games 2 and 3. Match 1 is always played with the vanilla submitted deck, and then they can sideboard after that. Currently, we're joined here by Paralakid, Card Ninja, Cubes, who's hosting the streaming and doing all the technical stuff. Thank you very much, Cubes. And then your one and only Sark, with Squiddy as admin.
With Squiddy as admin, yes. I mean, I assume everyone knows our voices, so that should be fine. Through the stream, doesn't make too much difference. And we do have a very dramatic countdown on stream, which is nice. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Unless we're talking about stream delay, in which case I don't know what we're doing. I mean, only Cubes knows the real information. Hmm.
Well, if we have to take a break into account, I think we might be best advised to just...
My really good question is if Excalibur is even here, because I don't see him anywhere.
Oh my god! Animals, you ready? Is he in the mom room?
Is Excalibur around? Does anybody have any contact information to Excalibur?
It doesn't exist.
Oh my god.
So
Before it's Blinky's alternate account.
I mean, we could throw Anonymous in.
Yeah, we can.
No,
It's
he's
the mix
here,
and
he's
match
here.
tournament
Wait,
at this
he's
point.
here.
He's here.
See?
Alright. Sorry, Anonymous.
Ah, it's great.
There it can be.
If you add a Y to the front of Sark and...
Really? Are we?
Right. Well, he's right.
No, Squiddy, I found
Squiddy,
him.
we
I
found
found
him. We found him. Squiddy, no. Bad Squiddy.
That's good. No.
Why do you message him here?
Best. Gen 1 best.
Okay, it's all good. Slow clap from Janreb. It's great. So, are you sure we're watching Simone? Because he said he's gonna have to go for food in the middle of the series.
Yeah, that's it. I think we should watch Starks versus Anti-Red.
No.
No.
Fuck.
No energy.
Sorry, Starks, I tried.
We tried,
No,
but no.
It's not Starks. It's just, Ranreb's gonna run him over.
Boom. Okay, so
Wait, what? Start?
so let's get this clear. Who do you want to watch first?
Blinky versus Excalibur.
Blinky vs Excalibur is what we're doing then.
Okay, we'll take it. That's pretty good.
Let's do it.
It's Blinky and Excalibur's crazy energy deck, which is going to be great to watch.
Tournament in 4, 3, 2. There's delays, so this is pointless.
I need this guy's name again.
Oh, it's great. I love it.
Guys, let's watch Nerp. Nerp's on.
Yeah, let's watch now. Let's go.
No.
Watch
We
it,
watch
let's go.
Excalibur versus Blinky, and that's the end of it.
There's a great match between
Alarm
L6.
off. What?
Alarm off.
Oh,
Oh,
look,
no!
it's the online clock. Oh no! Janreb.
The thing is dying.
Janreb.
Holy shit.
That's a problem. We don't like deleted images on stream.
Oh my god, no, no, stop it. Excalibur.
Glorious.
Blinky's
So,
playing red. Oh my god.
yeah, he's playing
So
red, the new
it's-
faction.
Oh god.
Anyway, we should talk about the decks while Cubes gets this in order.
Well, let's talk about Excalibur's deck, which is not what's on stream.
Fuck you, Dranreb!
Oh, okay. So Excalibur's deck.
This is gonna be a pain. I'm just gonna do this.
Fuck this fox in particular.
Okay, Excalibur's, yeah, I think it had Fulmination Conduit in it.
You want the link again? It's
No, it only has it in its sideboard, I think.
No, he's playing a Reaver. It's called Reaver Firestorm or Scrolger. It's a
There we go.
heavy energy deck with Theas, Ironclad Weavers in there, Hired Marksman.
Oh yeah, there we are. It's
Fulmination Conduit. It's all pretty interesting. I like it.
There's no Fulmination Conduit, sorry.
Huh?
I don't think there's a Fulmination Conduit.
No, it's definitely a Fulmination Conduit.
Where? I can't see it.
What?
I can't see it. Oh wait, that's the wrong deck.
Just open.
The sigh
please,
is real with this one.
Yeah, I see it. It has Fulmination Conduit in it.
Zach.
And there's Thea, and there's Violent Dispersal, and it's Piercing Projectile. It's a good all-around ranged energy.
It is, but it has...
Hired Marksman confuses me.
It has Hired Marksman, it has Fulmination Conduit, and Piercing Projectile, which we don't typically see.
On second thought, this deck sucks. What the fuck were you
This is-
thinking?
I tell you, this is not a typical energy deck. It's kind of interesting. It's just
Oh,
close to
okay.
a typical energy deck. Typical energy deck
The thing about Power Trip is that the Scrodia side is actually lying to our faces. It does not cantrip at 11 or more.
Hired marks.
Well,
Not
you
right
know,
now.
Not right now, but it's fine. Don't worry. And the Thea. What do you think about the Thea?
The Thea, if he can survive to that point, which he probably will be able to against Blinky because he's playing Decay, and Decay doesn't finish games quick.
And he has power trips
Yeah,
and
but,
fulmination conduits, which I assume is the strategy there. To get
Yeah,
the
well, the
out.
Fulmination Conduits aren't gonna die to Blinky's deck that easily, so he's got that going for him. which is
And
not-
the sideboard has... I think this is the most interesting sideboard we've got.
Purification,
I would say.
Desperation, Blast Strike, Supercharged, and Incendiaries.
Yeah. The incendiaries are pretty
Uh,
clear. I can understand that. The supercharged, I don't really... I mean, is it like a
Put
pillage
it on
thing?
the,
He wants
Or
to,
the-
he wants to
Yeah.
put it on the Hired Smuggler, probably, or the Thea.
Yeah, maybe, but that seems... I guess it's a sideboard card, so that's fair enough. The Blast Strike with some piercing projectile players, maybe?
no.
Plus the
Blast-
Hired
it's on the
Marksman
Blast Strike Stormrunner hits everything.
and
Okay.
Hired Marksman.
And,
Plus
and
Blast-
Purification, which is Purification. So that's... It's an interesting approach to a sideboard, because it's more cards that give him more options, rather than having more options against other types of decks, apart from the incendiaries.
I'm very surprised that the Desperation isn't in the main deck, because Desperation with any piercing unit is really good.
Yeah.
Mike is making
Oh my
issues.
And Blinky's deck?
Yeah, Blinky has a deck as well.
Blinky has a deck as well. It's...
Blinky does have a deck, and he is running Decay. Not even Yoda Decay, the boring bastard.
It's pretty standard decay. I mean, there's a draining mist in there.
Draining Mists aren't unusual anymore, though.
Not anymore, no, but they are of note, I guess.
We've got your standard Witch Doctor,
We have-
two Life Stealers, two
yeah,
Hunters.
yeah.
The sideboard has
We have the Watcher. That's
That's-
interesting, at least.
the sideboard's the interesting part because it has Gamavore and another
does it?
Watcher.
I think
does.
that's a pretty standard decay sideboard if we've ever seen one. Like, you've got the Scavenger of Aura in case you want to switch to that. You've got the extra Watcher if you feel like you need more of those.
He has the
And then you've
ultimate order counter, which is.
Then you have the Poison Decay, which we're probably not going to see much of in this tournament, are we?
I think Joyful's playing one.
Yeah, but I mean, like, no one's going to be too indicated? No. Interested in bringing it out of their sideboard. Although
Yeah,
Joyful's playing his main deck.
Just
So-
a heads up, Blinky versus Excalibur is almost starting now. We will be hopping into the game momentarily.
Mm-hmm. It's
I
good.
think the most interesting thing in the sideboards is the third Watcher.
So
So
if we
Blink-
just hop into the game with Blinky versus Excalibur, that would be great.
That starts now.
So, how about this opening hand?
This opening hand, it's a mulligan. It's a
Not off.
definite mulligan. You do not want to have to sacrifice 2 Necrogeddons early on. That's a bad idea. And
It's
he
just-
keeps it.
Wow.
Blinky, why you do this? You make me look bad.
Blinky's got the man mode.
Dust Runner is a very solid opening, and he does have the Storm Runner or Canonetta to follow it out, so that it's a decent.
Yeah,
game
Excalibur's got the
start.
best curve, and he's got the early board presence. I don't
Well,
think Tribes is
Blinky
gonna do
has-
much.
Blinky has the Black Bearer and the
Yeah.
Tribesman, which is a very good.
Not only that, but Excalibur's deck probably doesn't handle Lifestealer very well. Because he can Violent Dispersal it, or he's got to blow a Machinated to deal with it. But
Yeah, but the thing about piercing and Lobber is that they usually take out more things than just lifesteal with it. So I mean, if the lifesteal is placed in front and the magnet just goes through anyway, then there's no damage lost.
yeah, but he's got to build those big plays. And how long does the Lifestealer get to accrue value before he gets those big plays set up?
That probably depends on how the cards playing out. I mean, right now he's going for the ever so solid Canonetta, which will probably serve him well. Blinky is getting a very solid start, but he won't be able to finish the game anytime soon.
Well, that's pretty
He
much
needs to.
what you expect of a decay deck. I mean, he's
Yeah, but
he's lost the early board presence, but that's not going to be a big issue to him. I don't think.
Tempest Reaver is interesting in this deck. I mean,
So do you get on the Tempest Reaver plan or the Stormrunner plan here?
Tempest Reaver could be good because, I mean, as much as it sucks, it is a threat, a genuine threat on the board
Well,
because
the thing
no
about
blocker's
Tempest-
gonna sax it.
What I
Well,
was going to say is the Tempest Reaver is interesting because it's one of the few low-cost energy cards that has armor 1 and 4 health. So it makes a pretty good wall in a ranged energy deck.
yeah,
in
it
a
makes
pinch.
it makes a very good wall.
I just think it should have one.
Blinky having to split up his forces. That's never a nice thing to have to do when you're playing Decay. You kind of always want to keep things grouped up in a nice big ball of doom.
I don't like what Blinky did here because he
Isolated.
last scroll, and now he's gonna have to sacrifice whatever he gets.
Oof, that hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts a lot.
We're not on the test server, so neither of those are going to die to it.
But he does have a spark in hand, so that Cursemonger isn't long for this world.
No, but he's got no resources to play it with yet. So, and the
He can-
Cursemonger gets something off, at least.
The Cursemonger gets to either hit a 9 or curse something, and depending on what Blinky draws, that could be very good if he draws a Brain Lice. He's not allowed to have the Infectious Blight in his deck yet, so that's basically the only thing that Cursemonger's Curse synergizes with, which means that it's probably not going to be able to do a lot.
Yeah, but like, here's a nightmare situation. Blinky draws a Brain Lice. He can remove anything on this board, but if he does that, then he has to wait for the next turn to sacrifice again. Or does he sacrifice that Brain Lice and just hope,
He doesn't get
Works
either of
out.
them. He does get a very solid drop in that of the Life Stealer, which is good.
Yeah.
I mean, if he can get those out early, then Excalibur will have a hard time contesting board presence. Excalibur can choose to do things, I guess.
He doesn't have any big plays yet. He could bombard, maybe, but that's not really
The
going to
Dust
get much
Runner and the
achieved
Bombard
here.
could let him impact the field. So,
if
He
we
could
let
ta-
him,
well,
but
yeah.
then he's got to let him have another.
he
curse.
elects to just avoid it, and then he probably just starts stacking the board.
Yeah, Hired Marksman probably works here.
It does. It actually works really well because of the bombard.
Yeah, the Bombard and the fact it can target those faraway units that Blinky's got going on at the moment.
And
Surprisingly, actually.
And Languid's, well, it's effective against energy to a degree, but the fact
Well-
that Machinated exists makes any unit dangerous anyway. So you
I
can't
think
just
it's
leave the
trick
unit
here
there.
because either Canonetta and the Stormrunner, they're only going to really do damage if they have a machinated, and then the it does nothing against the hired marksman because he's not going to actually attack with it. He's probably just going to start picking on units.
So here's what he can do. He can drop the spark on one of the units he can... And then he can use the hired marksman with the bombard to kill the unit in the back, and then the Dust Rider just insta-kills the Oblivion Seeker. Or he could drop the hired smuggler and get some draw.
Well-
I mean, he doesn't have to kill the Life Stealer right now, that's the beauty of the play he has. Not the
Yeah,
Life Stealer, the Oblivion Seeker, sorry.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement that Excalibur's in a very, very strong spot right now. It just depends on
Yeah.
what he really wants to do.
Oh, he could do that, I'm blind, sorry. He probably drops the hired smuggler, and there's not really anything else that you
Well, he
should
can hide
play.
Smuggler Bombard in this situation.
Yes, that was what I was
So
thinking.
that's-
I mean,
that's
he's
the play.
setting up for that. He's just doing the math.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the solid play. Oh, he can just end the turn actually, and then stuff just happens. But how often do you get to use the ability? Come on, the ability of a hired marksman being used in a competitive match. Come on, Excalibur, you have to do it. Oh, what?
Okay, I guess.
Sacrifices one of his units. Interesting.
I mean, it's only a Dust Runner unless...
Well, he can spark
decides-
it. He can spark it next turn, and well, so actually he trade. I would sacrifice the Dust Runner there. It's not an essential unit in his composition.
The Languid play. Now that's interesting. Because you're languiding a unit that's going to get machinated anyway if he wants to do any real damage with it.
Yeah, and Blinky
So-
wants nothing over 5.
Yeah, but now he's forcing the machinated from.
Now he's forcing the machinated, and I think he really wanted the card draw in that situation because he's just not getting the cards he needs to really turn
Yeah.
the tides here.
I mean, let's see what. Oh, another bombard. That could have been really bad for Blinky if he had not dropped that.
You know, I just excuse me for not realizing this earlier, but the only structure in Excalibur's deck is Fulmination Conduit.
Oh,
Yeah.
synergy.
So he's using that to maybe try and make Fulmination Conduit a more consistent thing to get out. I don't know.
I think he can
What if
basically
Excalibur-
he can kill the two lifestealers with and drop Fulmination Conduit at the same time. That's a pretty good play.
I don't think you want to like make the big play this turn if you're Excalibur. I think you want to spin your wheels right now, like set up the conduit, spark the unit.
yeah.
I would say you probably should have sacrificed for resources because it's getting to that point in the game where if energy does not get to 7 resources, it just kind of fizzles out.
Well, the thing is, he can spark that lifesteal, so he has at least another turn of setup.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You should just spin his wheels this turn and try to get there next turn.
And then he can piercing projectile the hired marksman if he needs to, and just ram through that row with 4
More
attack.
cards. Oh yeah.
What do you damning curse here? Nothing.
That's a good
Languid
question. I think,
again.
he's
Oh my god,
safe
that
for
board
playing
is-
the Languids. Maybe the Draining Mist?
That
Yeah, the
board
Draining
is-
Mist is...
Oh,
No,
damn-
Draining Mist does nothing here. So yeah, marksman play was probably right.
Draining Mist is very ineffective against ranged energy.
I find it interesting.
It's languided, so he's forcing homogenated. So Draining
Both-
Mist is dumping value.
Let's see. Effectively, Excalibur has 7 resources this turn.
If he wants, which he probably does.
So 7 resources, that means you can drop the... You actually can't do shit against that lifestealer.
Mm.
It has 4 health. And he can do 3 damage.
You probably just run away from that life stealer right now.
And then you just stack the board down under.
Yeah, you try to cover the 4 rows that you can, and like let the life stealer have the top row.
And then you hired marksman kill it next turn.
Well, I don't necessarily think that either, but Excalibur has to give Blinky an idol here, so
You can't allow the life
might as well
to
be the
heal.
top one because that one's hard to defend anyways.
What, the real question is, where does Excalibur drop the Fulmination Conduit?
I'd say in the bottom right, just so if he needs to meet block with the Storm Runner, he can.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
those 3 languids, that board would have been so much scarier.
To be fair, with the
Suppose
units he's
he
got,
didn't-
it's still pretty scary with the Machinated.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm surprised he didn't use piercing.
I
projectile.
don't get why he didn't move down.
No,
Yeah.
because he's giving a free unit there. And
I mean, he
restoring
should have
the
moved
lifesteal.
down.
So
And
I
then-
don't think the losing your smuggler is worth the idle damage.
Yeah, and suddenly Blinky's board looks a lot scarier than it's supposed to.
Mhm.
That's a misplay. That has to be a misplay.
And again, here because he sacrificed for cards earlier when he was up, now he's in a point in the game where he's probably going to have to keep sacrificing for cards to find answers, and it's going to get harder and harder to get to that 7 resources that is just very crucial for like burn bombard plays.
I mean, look at he can play 1 card right now.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't
He
make
is-
the big play.
He is so resource starved right now.
Yeah, I feel like his deck is gearing around the Fulmination Conduit way too much at this point. Because he really
Yeah.
wanted that Fulmination Conduit on the top row to kind of
just-
carry him through to give those higher resources to play what he had in his hand. But when that caved in, he's left with nothing else to play.
And he didn't play the next
Yeah,
Fulmination
7
Conduit
resources.
when he had the chance. And he didn't. Not
Yeah,
to
well,
mention...
if he had 7 resources, though, he could do the conduit, and that would get him to like 10 or 11 energy, and that would allow him to make plays like Thea Bombard, which are really big. But now
So-
he's stuck in a situation where he doesn't have a high actual resource count.
And now Blinky's just gonna start dropping those Ilmire Witch Doctors.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
Blinky's just going to build his board, and Excalibur has to keep sacrificing for scrolls to try to answer his board, and in turn cannot build his own board because he's stuck at 5 resources. So this is what I was talking about earlier when I was like, it was very weird that Excalibur wasn't getting up to 6 and 7 resources.
Also,
Yes,
he seems
again-
to be really wanting to dig for that Machinated, and he's just not getting it.
Yeah, well, he's got 3 in his deck, We know that for a fact. And he hasn't drawn any of them yet, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
this is why it's curious that he didn't immediately have Desperation in his deck.
Hmm.
Yeah, but if you're trying to live off the top of your deck, then you know these situations come up where you get screwed.
He can drop a Canonetta plus a Bombard, so it's not completely lost yet. He can, in fact, clear the top row and then just essentially flee. Because if he uses the Marksman ability on the Rod Eater in the middle, has the Boom Reaver in the front, and the Canonetta in the back, deals 1 damage to the Ilmai Shambler and 2 damage to the Lifestealer, clears that row, and then he just starts running.
But then he has 2 cards in hand. And
Yeah, he has...
And a burn. Burn.
well,
If
2 cards.
I
Well,
think
no,
Canonetta Bombard, use the Hired Marksman ability on the Rot Eaters to play,
And
right?
now he only covers 4.
No. Well, that works as well. If he
That works
but
as well.
still, that works as well. No,
Oh,
Oh my.
that was a misplay?
it was.
I don't think he saw it.
I don't know why he could have used it on the Rot Eater and the piercing would have killed the... I mean, to be fair, he's only leaving a 3-2-1 on the board, and it's a Maya Shambler. But it's a
also
Maya Shambler he
attacking.
could have killed.
It's attacking, and it's gonna kill one of his units. He just gave one of his units away, essentially, and another one's
Now-
gonna die because of the.
And now he's completely out of position, too.
That was a bad misplay that might have actually lost him the game.
Yeah, because now, like, Blinky's just looking for free idol damage, and now, you know, Blinky has 3 idols under threat, and he can't defend any of them. Whereas before, if he forced Blinky to take the top idol, he'd have, you know, his other 4 idols at almost full health. So he can't really... I don't know.
He can bombard this turn, but ugh.
Yeah,
It's
those
just-
harvesters are going to be really difficult for Excalibur to take down. Really,
I mean,
really
it's
difficult.
it's not gonna be impossible for him. He can do it, but
Yeah, but the amount of cards he burns in the process means that he's not going to be an advantage. He's just playing keep up. Like
on
we've
the
been saying.
on the bright side, he's up to 6 resources now, so he's not just gonna have all these 3-cost cards in his hands and no idea how to deal with them. He just needs to get up to 7, and he should be able to at least contest the board presence. That's a curious play because now he's not gonna get any value out of his hired marksman, which was his one way to kind of hunt these things down.
See, I like that Blinky held on to that draining mist there, and then just he used it now. So Excalibur has to make a bombard play to stay in this game.
And he can't. I mean, now he draws a Machinator, of course, but that's not gonna be of any use to him.
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
smart play for Blinky. Really smart. He's
I
moved
wouldn't say it's
his...
smart play from Blinking, more bad play from Excalibur. He
Well,
had
it is, but I'm
chances
still-
to make good plays and just didn't. And he just didn't
Well, I
make
think
them.
the argument I'm making is the fact that last turn he has all these really low... He has these really high attack, really low health units, right?
And then just
Now,
spreads
instead of
out.
trying to save them, he knows he has 2 harvesters on the board. He's moving them up aggressively to try and challenge Excalibur's kind of mid lane. And moving his harvesters away so there's no big machinated plays that Excalibur can do to counter him.
Another
Now-
thing Excalibur hasn't been able to voice is power trips.
Yeah, but now Excalibur's walked into a board state where he only has his units controlling 3 lanes because he has to put them all behind the Tempest Reaver. Whereas before, you know, when he could cover 4 or 5 lanes, his prospects looked better because, you know, Blinky couldn't just get free idle damage everywhere. And now Blinky either Excalibur deals with the harvesters, or and in that situation, Blinky gets free idle damage. or
Knowing that he
doesn't
just
get harvesters.
knowing that he's just drawn a Thunder Surge, I think Excalibur's only real chance for victory is to try and draw Blinky down for a massive Thunder Surge next turn. But
I don't
even
think he
that's gonna
can.
be
I
an
don't think,
yeah.
I
Even
don't
that's
think
gonna
Blinky's going to fall for that.
he's probably not even going to be able to make a Thunder Surge play because if he does that, both harvesters go off. He hasn't been able to deal with them.
Ooh.
He goes off now. That's DG. There's surely no way that Excalibur can come back from this.
Well, I think GG was like 3 turns ago.
Generally, yeah.
I think Excalibur just made a few mistakes that like put him into an unfavorable position. Because now he absolutely needs Machinated, Bombard, Stormrunner Deep to stay in the game.
He doesn't have the cards nor the actual resources he has now with the
And he's
power
gonna-
trip. But Blinky's
Yes.
even playing around that.
And he's going to need to find his Stormrunner, but I think he's already gone through all 3 of his Storm Runners. Now he has to cycle the deck 2.
And
Yeah, he's
that's
gone.
15 cards, and Blinky's just not gonna give him any rest.
Yeah.
Blinky still has 1 Necrogeddon to use, yeah.
And
So
you
I
see how
think as
quickly like all of this free idol damage is built up too. This is like when people ask about like, oh, how do you fight mess? It's like, well, you take any free idol damage you can get, they fall apart. And this isn't mess, but it's a similar situation where Blinky just took the free damage he could get from idols and capitalized on that.
Excalibur's deck is geared on having enough board presence until he just clears your board with a massive Fulmination Conduit play, and he hasn't been able to do that.
So how do you think sideboards are going to affect this matchup?
For Excalibur,
Good question.
Excalibur definitely needs to put in the desperations here. I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that he has to do that. Blinky sideboards, maybe Scaramouche, but honestly, I don't think so.
Yeah, Blinky's got no reason here to change his deck. It's
I mean,
consistent, it's regular decay, and he's not
Let's
really
say,
come up against any problems. Really.
Blinky could probably put the Blights in because Excalibur's deck is such a creature energy deck.
Maybe.
If you wanted to go that route, because Excalibur's deck is going to be faster, but
I think even the problem with playing against creature energy, like they have the removal, they can just burn a spark on their own creature and just get rid of the blight really easily. So I don't know if I'd be too inclined to do that.
yeah, this is a grim spot for Excalibur. He's sticking it out. He's sticking it out like the chap he is, but he has no bombards to make bombard plays. He's expended all of them.
Yeah, he needs some crazy like power trip machinated play, but Blinky's got such good spread and such good board presence that he's just going to kill any units he puts out.
You can't do those though. That's the problem. I mean, honestly, the chances of Excalibur coming back in this game are pretty much zero. The only way he's gonna win this is if Blinky suddenly falls asleep. And probably even then it's gonna be difficult.
I don't like claims like that, but it is it's very dismal, and I think the game was decided a long time ago. This is the falling action. We've already passed the climax of this game. Like, it isn't inconceivable for Excalibur to nut draw his way out of it, but
We
The
know
odds
for a
are-
fact that he won't be able to though.
terribly against him.
I mean, for Excalibur to even have a chance of drawing his way out of this, he needs to actually cycle his deck, then draw bombards.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're all in agreement that it was the kind of early bombard usage that just didn't quite get anything done.
The part
To allow
where he
Blinky.
didn't kill the Maya Shambler.
Yeah, that misplay.
There's also just
Was
the
quite
positioning has
Right,
always
it's-
been slightly off.
It seems like he
He's
doesn't
not
have an,
covering.
It seems like he's at that point where he doesn't exactly have an eye for what's gonna happen the next turn.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't really read Blinky's hand. He doesn't assume that Blinky has the Soul Steal, has the Damning Curse, and so on. He just plays around what's in his hand, and
Well, I feel at this point when you're playing Excalibur, you don't have a single full health idol. You're basically playing to survive this turn, and you can't even consider next turn because you might not even be around for it.
yeah,
You're-
but
you're in a bind.
when
really.
he actually looked in a favorable position.
When he looks in a favourable position, yeah, you're right. I completely agree.
And right now he has no choice but to just hope that Blinky draws abysmally. But-
Which I doubt he's going to do because he's got so few cards left in his deck that they're all going to be what we expect to come
Blinky's
out of
deck
it that we haven't
also-
seen yet.
He has a Necrogeddon that he hasn't
Yeah.
used yet. That's the
Mhm.
problem. I mean, this game is so close to ending.
But like Blinky's deck, it can't really draw that badly just because it's so consistent. It's a bunch of cheap guys, Necrogeddon, and Disruption. So
And fun little fact, Blinky has elected to not play a single one of the Witch Doctors he's drawn. His
Yeah.
entire deck cycle.
Does he
Despite
need
having
to?
been able to.
Like-
He doesn't need them, but it's interesting that he didn't want to play them.
Blinky's not even giving Excalibur a chance to play with Machinated on a piercing unit.
Yeah, I mean, that
But Stormwind is going to go off.
Stormrunner's only going to kill 2 units.
That's true. But which
That's-
2 units do you kill?
I don't think it matters anymore.
No, it doesn't matter anymore, but still. If there's anything that's going to get back into the game, if anything, and there's the Witch Doctor.
Well, now
Interesting.
he's just inviting it. But he wins next turn if he...
We're in Darkling range now, so it's just...
Also, if Excalibur is spaded into killing the Witch Doctor with a Magnator play, he loses.
Like,
Yeah.
an
no,
interesting
that's
thing about
true.
this Thunder Surge that's been rotting in Excalibur's hand. If his units had been better positioned earlier, this Thunder Surge would be softening up whatever Blinky has in a Death Ball, which is a very big part of playing Thunder Surge. A lot of people think of it as like you kill everything at once, but the idea is like you put everything
Wear
in
down the
a
board.
range where your units can destroy stuff.
You wear down the board slightly for
Yeah.
those kinds of plays, for charge coils, for ether pumps, for a second Thunder Surge, for piercing units, for sudden eruption, any kind of sweeper removal plays.
Yeah, mostly like piercing units and lobbers. Like Thunder Surge just makes them finish it
Better.
much.
Okay.
But
For anyone
it's
just
like-
joining, this is the Mind Over Matter tournament, a tournament where players are just submitting a single deck with a sideboard of a total of 10 cards that they're allowed to switch into for their second and third matches. All matches except the final are best of 3, and the finals were going to be a best of 5, correct?
Yeah.
And
As I understand it.
And that's GG.
Excalibur's been waiting here, trying to be like, oh, how many units can I pick off with the Thunder Surge? And now Blinky's got had a bunch of 5 health units, and it doesn't even really matter anymore.
Yeah, this is a pretty
Blinky-
clear GG.
Yeah,
I find it
GG.
surprising Excalibur hasn't surrendered by this point. I mean, it's
He's a champ.
pretty-
He's definitely a champ. He sticks it out.
Yeah, he sticks it out, but his last few turns
Well-
he hasn't been able to make any plays really. That was like the Thunder Surge, Stormrunner is the biggest thing we've seen.
How much better do you think
Oh.
Excalibur's deck would be if instead of Fulmination Conduits, he was playing Oculus Cannons?
Oh, he isn't playing Oculus Cannons. Ouch.
Yeah, he's not playing. He's going for the big kind of Ironclad Reaver, Thea.
But Oculus
Fulmination
Cannons would have been
Conduit,
such
Power
a
Trip.
big part of such a combo if he's playing combos.
Yeah, on Power Trip alone.
He isn't even sideboarding them.
No, that's
yeah.
I say we've said
doesn't know-
before. It's one of the more surprising decks and sideboards in the tournament. That's why we're watching
So
it.
like, if you had 3 Canonettas, 3 Oculus Cannons, and 2 Theas, you have like great piercing, and you can support that with Power Trip. But the Fulmination, or you could support it with the Fulmination Conduit. But the problem is, since he's playing both, like when he doesn't need resources, they're both dead. When he doesn't need to set up something, they're both dead, and he has to expend that card to set up anything. So he's got 5 in his deck that are just kind of
Not doing a lot.
yeah. On top
I'm-
of
I mean-
Ironclad Reaver doesn't work with his bombards.
I'm
Thea's
getting a- I'm getting a feeling that this is the point where Excalibur's deck is supposed to take off, but he's just so far behind that it's not going to happen. I mean, that's GG.
GG. First match to Blinky.
That's
I
not-
feel like this game could have gone completely differently if when Excalibur was ahead, he would have gone to 6 and 7 resources and just, got to that point where he could make the plays. He would have exploded a lot earlier.
Now that we can be as pessimistic as we want, but what can Excalibur do to his deck to make it a little bit better against Blinky?
Well, I think Excalibur will probably do better with Desperations. But,
Yeah, Desperation seems like pretty much the choice here.
But that's like a usual mistake. That's like a common mistake. It isn't like we're trying to drag him into the street. Beat him with a stick. That is a usual mistake for someone playing energy, especially someone who's like new to energy in particular. Like if like a lot of order players are like, oh, I can't play an energy deck on 5 resources forever.
You kind of have to go up. You kind of have to ramp aggressively with an energy deck, and that's kind of one of the really hard balancing acts. Because if you do that too much, then you're kind of boned. And since Excalibur's deck doesn't rely on big sweeper combos, he can't afford to just go down to 1-2 cards in his hand. He has to stay at like 4 pretty consistently if he wants to keep his options open and his opponent guessing. I mean, as soon as you're down to 2 cards, then Blinky can start playing comfortably because there are certain things that Excalibur just won't be able to do.
Yeah, but when you're ahead on board, that's like the best time to get your ramp up. But
Yeah,
now,
and
once you got behind on board, it was just like you could no longer ramp, and so everything was drawing combo plays.
I'm impressed he got up to 7 resources as it was, though. That was pretty cool. I didn't expect him to get that far up. Not sure if that's a mistake, but he managed to stay there. To get up there. But yeah, that was a difficult match to watch, really.
Yes.
It was really Blinky doing his own thing and Excalibur just falling apart under it.
Is Excalibur like normally an order player or a decay player?
You can check his match history on Scrolls Guide.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen Excalibur in many tournaments around. I don't know if I'm just ignoring it, which I very well might be, but no, Blinky is probably the favourite going into this match. I think we can agree that. Just Decay being so consistent, him being such a consistent Decay player out of all the Decay players we've seen.
I feel like that's one thing we haven't considered with the Tempest Reaper in Excalibur's deck. He plays Piercing Projectile, Fulmination Conduit, and Power Trip. I'm not
Maybe?
saying we might have a 12 attack Tempest Reaper, but it could happen.
Yeah, we could get some... Yeah, the interesting thing about Excalibur's deck is it's the one deck in the tournament that has this potential for really kind of outlandish, crazy plays. If he gets the right cards and if he's in the right situation. And against a Decay deck, which is, again, really, really consistent, I don't know if you're going to be able to pull through with it.
Yeah, it's a difficult match, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
but if he
it's not
does
that
get it
it's-
off, it'll be
Yeah,
amazing.
If he does get it up, then Blinky's just gonna be like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
His board will just disappear because with all the removal that Excalibur has, all the sweeper plays he can make, that works well against Decay because he can just take him in one play and they're not just gonna stick around and slowly build themselves up again.
Yeah,
And
so
that's
while we're
kind of
talking about... While we're talking about Blinky, and we've talked about Excalibur's sideboard, I think Blinky's sideboard, again, it's less relevant, but if anything, do you think he would sideboard this
If
match?
it sideboards anything, it's going to be the Infectious Blights because those have a tendency of wrecking ranged energy.
Yeah, I think it's the same as I said in the match, that that's the only thing I think you might be able to sideboard, but you're playing against an energy deck which has a lot of removal. Like, they can quite easily remove the Blight.
But not without making a bad trade, which is what
Not
you're
without making a bad trade, but
And
you're
if
paying...
you make a bad trade as energy, you're going to go down in cards and not going to be able to ramp up. So it's a decent play.
It's a good point. I guess it's going to depend on the situation in which he decides to use it.
As ranged energy, you kind of really have to babysit your board with cards from your hand. While the case board is usually difficult to remove because it just adds to itself slowly over time. Okay, match is up. Match is starting.
Okay.
So what do you think of these hands?
These hands are interesting, definitely.
Yeah, Blinky's got the early tribesman play again.
We joined 2 rounds too late. We're sorry about that. Let's see. Excalibur has I'm not sure he's screwed on the curve, but he probably would have liked to have had a dodged runner.
Okay.
Or
And you also have to think that most of Excalibur's units have 3 health, so Blinky has the Brain Lice in hand. So I don't think Excalibur. I don't think he's just gonna like explode onto the board early this time and then dominate from the gates, unless Blinky sacrifices the Brain Lice.
which I don't think Blinky's gonna do because he knows what kind of deck he's playing against. Sacrificing the Storm Runner is an interesting move.
The Tain is in. The Blinky sideboarded in his Bloodline Taints.
He did? Interesting.
Oh,
Question is how many? I mean, there's only humans in this deck. It could work.
it's an interesting idea.
I mean, this deck is all humans, so it could work.
It's something that's kind of unorthodox, but no, I can agree. It definitely could work.
Okay, Iron
Very
Balls
nice.
likes to discuss this with us about ranged energy and how most of the units only have 3 health to begin with, whereas like every other faction has.
I feel like I had to make. I feel like Excalibur should have made a play for the board there. Oh dear. Okay,
Yep.
both the Blight and the Taint is in. So
This is what I was talking about with Blinky's sideboarding, because he's playing the Decay creature deck. Because their health is so low, poison is actually really good against the ranged energy decks. Even if they can kill their own units to get rid of the infectious blight or the anything, they have low health to begin with, and so Blinky gets to build his board and simultaneously destroy Excaliburs.
yeah, and that's probably. I mean, the thing about the infectious blight is that initially it's timber loss, but because Excalibur has no really efficient ways to remove them, they're just gonna be able to just wreck him over time, and Blinky's just gonna be able to move on with his hand unhindered.
Well, it's like even decks where infectious blight is good against them, like a lot of the growth decks, they can just fertile soil away the unit. Energy has to use a good removal spell to get rid of infectious blight.
I feel like small positioning misplay by Excalibur. I feel like the Canonetta should have been in the front because it was going to die next turn. Not that it impacts the game, but that's generally a bad habit to get into. Same with the hired marksman. That should have been that should be moved closer to the front once it's clear that it's going to die.
And there we go.
Okay, that's a smart play. I mean, he has the breathing room right now.
Yeah. So where do you put this Canonetta?
I think you prove the Storm Runner, man.
Yeah.
The Storm Runner to just threaten the board. There's only one space that.
Two damning curses.
Yeah.
I mean, if he plays 2 damning curses, he opens them up. It opens him up to Thunder Surge plays really badly. I think he just plays the Oblivion Seeker, honestly.
He could, he can, honestly, if he wants, he can just move down that Oblivion Seeker and use it to tank the shot.
You have to remember that now Damning Curse has taxing, so it's very interesting to see how conservative Blinky's going to be with those Damning Curses.
He basically gets 3 uses, that's it.
Well, it's not just that, it's like Blinky knows he's playing against a very aggressive deck, so how much can he ramp to keep using Damning Curses? And the answer is probably not a lot, because every time he does it, he's going to have to sacrifice scrolls for more decay.
The dream draw here would be Machinated Bombard. That is the dream draw.
Would be.
Just Bombard, actually. Bombard here would be insane.
I don't know. He's
It's only
not out, but he's. I don't think dumping into a Bombard play right here is really like.
If he draws Machinated Bombard, it's the right play 100%.
if he draws Machinated Bombard, it's always the right
I don't
play, pretty
think
much.
it's going to give him the kind of comeback potential he needs. It's just going to impact Blinky's board and stop him from doing the Harvester play.
That's an interesting play. Question. The real question... No, he doesn't just ram himself into the Oblivion Seeker. Good. That would have been a bad idea.
Oh yeah, also...
wait.
It's Iron Reaver's effect is very relevant, because you can just...
Not with
even if
Damning
that
Curse.
Harvester was attacking, he can't break through.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Declare cursed play.
Wait.
Is
I am curious about the interactions here.
It says it's immune to damage. Yeah.
Okay. I am not insane.
Is that a misplay from Blinky?
The Desperations are in.
Blinky didn't have full information on that, probably, so I wouldn't call it a misplay. Like when those kind of emergent situations where mechanics interact with one another and you don't know what's going to happen, I don't know if you can call that a misplay.
Being immune to damage does quite imply that you're immune to damage. I mean, I can understand where you're coming from, but it's Blinky. I mean, you'd think he'd know the effect of Ironclad Reaver.
I'm just going to chip in here. I think Blinky made that play because a 0 damage unit that attacks a cursed unit still deals the damage with a curse, but that's because how curse is worded and not how damage
that's
is
because of...
triggered.
Yeah.
But
So
that's
I think
because
he
it's
might have-
immune to damage, so if the curse deals the damage, it's still immune,
Yes.
so...
So I think
that's
he was simply testing that interaction because I was actually thinking it might work, but
I was
obviously
thinking it might
doesn't.
work as well. But it's an interesting place to test such an interaction, right?
Yeah. That's probably a fair point. Either
I
way,
guess-
it doesn't cost him too much at this point.
I mean,
Like a
what
slightly out of position tribesman.
I mean, the thing here is that Excalibur can actually. That was not the play I would have made. I would have made it one row up and then just tank the shot with the thing, the Fulmination Conduit, because it wouldn't have been able to be killed. Because decay
So-
can't damage structures and stuff.
Now Excalibur covers 4 lanes, so
Now Blinky damning curses.
You're languid.
no.
Bring.
Oh, wait,
there you
it
go.
dies. It dies. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yep. Can't be immune to damage this time.
Like Blinky's deck is better at spinning its wheels, so if he just keeps his board together and then Necros, I don't know how Excalibur.
This is bad. I mean, he can kill the Harvester. It's
But
possible.
that's all he'd kill. And he'd have to waste Stormrunner's attack and a Machinated to do it.
Desperation.
Oh, Desperation, that's true. He does have Desperation.
He added in Desperation,
Hmm.
which is basically the only thing he should have done.
That's an interesting idea. Because the only other option is to kill the units in front, but then that activates the Harvester, which is probably a bad idea. And gives him card draw. So.
An interesting point made by Blinky in chat. He never wants to play Damning Curse against energy if he can get away with it, because a lot of his things are at 4 health, so if they get down to 3, they die to burn.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
wonder what his plan is with that Fulmination play. I mean,
So
it was
what
going to
you
die
could,
next turn anyway,
That's
but it would
a
have
very
least
fair
tanked the
point for
shot.
Blinky.
Surge Desperation. I don't know if I like that, but
It doesn't do a lot.
well,
He
it
doesn't-
does. It makes him.
He's-
About
Oh,
where there is, but it does also like.
Desperation on the Cannonetta.
And
But
now he dies to
that's
the.
off- He poisons his Cannonetta. He wipes his own board, essentially.
Yep.
And now Blinky's just building a huge,
Blob of units.
advantage, and
Yeah.
he's one sacrifice away from doing a Necrogeddon.
I do like the curse on the
Resilience.
Cannonetta there, just to make sure it dies. And there can't be any bombard plays. Which there could have been on Excalibur's hand there.
So now Blinky has the hand advantage. The
I mean,
board advantage.
Yeah, Blinky's just gonna win it.
Like he
Oh.
the only thing that Blinky doesn't have right now is a resource advantage, but Excalibur doesn't have that either. So
Yeah. He got rid of the Harvester, but then he's got another one in 2 countdown.
This is the same situation where Excalibur's just not gonna be able to clear the board.
He can play the Witch Doctor. And he does. Okay, there. That's pretty...
I think Squiddy should start securing us our next match and
Mhm.
maybe get them to hold off so we can do the things. with
Well... Yeah, we can talk about the brackets and everything once this match reaches its conclusion, I guess.
them. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
we'll probably try and hold back the tide if the semifinals start soon, just so we can
I think Cubes is ready to move on to the next game.
Yeah, but we don't know what the next game is.
Was everybody else done?
Nope.
Well, then-
Carl and the Joyful Rogue is probably gonna be our next game if this one finishes before them.
We'll see. Well,
I mean, the fact that they're still going could either tell that they're playing a very long match, or they're just evenly matched and going to game 3, whereas all of these are looking to be 2-0s. I mean, the simple fact that Blinky's in the chat right now tells a grim story.
Yeah. This is unfortunate.
I mean, pretty much as soon as Blinky top decks a Necrogeddon, this game's over.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
this-
doesn't really even need that at this point. He has a 1 countdown Harvester that's not likely to die.
He's- Yeah, this is very unfortunate because it's like I really want Excalibur to come back and do something crazy here, but
It's not possible.
yeah, his deck
Like-
isn't built to play like that.
Yeah, the thing is, Excalibur's playing an
He's
energy
not
deck
set up.
which relies even more than usual on having very high resources. And for one, he's not getting out those cards that can give him higher resources, and for two, he's lower on resources anyway than Blinky.
But this is why I stopped playing Violent Dispersal after it was changed to damage. Like, it's still a good scroll. It still kills almost anything. But it's like, because the distinction is there, and because Violent Dispersal is always, tempo negative to begin with, it's just become too narrow to do like that. I don't know if that makes sense. Because, like, Spark is never tempo negative. Usually, you spark something and you can play something else in the turn. But when you play Violent Dispersal most turns, it's just, that's your whole turn.
Mm-hmm.
Problem
Yeah,
is,
that's
Violent Dispersal
true.
still fills a role that no other cards in the energy fills right now. I mean, you're not... Violent Dispersal may suck against, like, Oakling decks or Scamavores or anything, but it's the best answer that they have.
Well, but you see here, like, he can't play his Violent Dispersal, and if he does, he just loses anyways. Because Violent Dispersal is so reactive, and it's so tempo negative to just play that for your whole turn. Because he's not building his board, and he's not doing more than a little bit of damage to. He wouldn't be doing a little more than a little bit of damage to
Indeed.
Blinky's.
He's not making an impact, especially he's just giving husks to Blinky at the moment, which is interesting. And that's pretty much CG right there.
And I find it interesting that Violent Dispersal was nerfed like that, because it was just like, it was already a scroll that I felt like
It wasn't
already
what
had
people
enough
complained
of
about.
costing 6.
Well,
It was basically just because the devs were like, remove instant death effects on all like the case things, so we're just gonna change Violent Dispersal in this way to be consistent with the law. That's basically the only reason.
well, that's a debate for another time, I think.
Yeah, but
If we're talking about
why
balance, we'll save that for tests of Mondays.
And
Yeah.
Blinky has the lethal
Well-
next turn, that's scary.
Yeah, Blinky has the lethal. He's got 2 Darklings out. He's got 2 damage idols. He doesn't even have a Watcher, so we can't talk about damage spread over idols. There's nothing really Excalibur can do. He doesn't really.
I
He
feel
doesn't
like,
even have that many units in hand to spread.
Pretty sure it dies no matter what.
Yep.
The point I'm trying to make about like the Violent Dispersal though is that I feel like Excalibur came into the tournament trying to have a really saucy deck, and we're watching it fall apart. Even though he's trying his hardest to make it work, and we all want it to work.
But it's not. It's almost scrapped together.
Yeah,
it tries to do too many things.
And
I mean,
the cards aren't coherent with one another. He's not playing a role. He's not picking a game plan. He's depending on a bunch of different game plans with some cards that are just really good by themselves, some cards that work really well together. But
it's not unified. I mean, there's definitely merit to the deck idea, but it needs a second look, possibly a third.
yeah, I just think I feel like if he played something more closely to Dronreb's list, he would have had a real shot here.
Well,
Where if he just went all in and like the fast energy range deck, or if he slowed down and played a bigger energy range deck. But
that's he probably realizes that Blinky has the.
Yeah, he knows he had the Necrogeddon. Blinky was posturing for a Necrogeddon. He had his units that way.
Okay, so I guess we really quickly jump into Joyful Rogue versus Colorblind. Match number.
Yeah.
good game, Excalibur, good college try, He tried to bring
Yeah.
something saucy to the tournament, and for that we thank him.
Yeah, well, it's 2-0 to Blinky. I think that's how most people expect it to go. Excalibur might have been able to get one match if he'd got some crazy playoff, but they're so difficult to get off in that kind of deck, where it's just doing so many things that it wasn't likely to happen. It would have been funny if it had, though. And it's interesting to note in chat, Blinky saying what he actually sideboarded. So he took out 2 Watchers and 2 Hunters and a Ripper for 2 Bloodline Taint and 3 Infectious Blight.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
that makes
a good
sense.
game plan.
The Hunters and the Watchers, and the Ripper I find kind of interesting, but I guess I can see why it's not pivotal to the deck.
Well, I think Blinky was
So-
expecting not to be the one who gets the board advantage first in that game. So he might have cut the Ripper because like, oh, he's going to get the board advantage before me. So the Ripper is just my plant
Cheap
for...
chump block.
Yeah, it's my plant for the Witch Doctors. But instead he just got the board advantage from the beginning, and it didn't matter.
I guess we're just very quickly jumping into the, oh my god, it's only 1-0 with Color Plant, what the hell?
Yeah, you're gonna have some fun.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
just try and hack together and
So-
look at that dex. So
Yeah, we'll
Color
look at the
Plant
dex.
is running Oakling. He's running Oakling, that's very standard Oakling with a single Quake. That's properly sideboarded in.
Yeah, I think. Sideboarded it.
And then we've got Joyful Rogue with a pretty standard Decay deck, although it does run a bit of unusual things that's in Maya Curse, which is...
Yeah, I think it's interesting to note with.
He's probably had...
yeah,
if he
that's
has
good
any
to know.
sense, he's probably sideboarded that out because it's really bad against... Magic Armor. But then again, there's lots of token generation in the deck, so he might have kept it in. Depends on his experience, I
I
suppose.
think the interesting thing to note with Joyful Rogue's deck as compared to Blinky's deck we saw is that he's not sideboarding Bloodline Taint and Infectious Blight. He's got those in his main deck, which I think is an interesting idea because they can be very situational. So few decks they just don't work against.
Yeah.
So you might, if you go up against one of those decks, you're just giving them a free game with those kind of cards because they're really, when you could have had those in your sideboard.
So, if you are Color Plant, do you bring in your Fang Bears for this matchup?
Oh,
it's an
that's-
idea.
Yes, Fang Bear on the sideboard.
I mean,
We have-
Relentless is generally good against Decay, so I think-
Yeah, we've had this discussion a lot of times when we see Decay players that Relentless is just good against them, just
I mean-
generally.
yeah.
You break through to their kind of big creatures, the Harvesters, the Rot Eaters, the Witch Doctors that are kind of holding the whole field together. So, I think you'd be inclined to, especially with the amount of humans in Decay.
You could do that. I mean, that's a merit there.
Well, he's almost guaranteed to be playing humans because he's going to be playing Witch Doctor because Witch Doctor is so good. So, I guess that makes sense. But I was just thinking because it's like it's another 4 health unit. But
And Color Plant has the early Oakling, which is never fun to play against.
Well-
Joyful Rogue probably brainlizes that immediately. I mean, it's already been telegraphed that Color Plant doesn't have the Oak Blood immediately.
It
So-
has, but he hasn't decided to brainlize it yet.
Which is interesting. I mean, he wants the card draw from the Oblivion Seeker. He can always just insta-kill it next turn with the Curse.
Yeah, maybe.
That's definitely-
That's probably a better idea. You don't want to play your Brainlice and then have Colour Plant play some Magic Armor on it. It just nullifies it, I guess.
So, Joyful Rogue playing against the deck right now and not just playing his deck. Color Plant electing to stack the board. Interesting. I would have thought he would immediately... He doesn't want to kill the Oblivion Seeker. That actually spells itself out. But it will spell the Doom for his Watling, and that's never good if you're playing a deck that centers around that combo.
Yeah. No, it's all pretty...
I guess, but a lot of his other threats are very good anyways. Like if he gets Rangers set up.
And Color Plant's disengaging. Ugh. Color Plant disengaging versus that deck is interesting because not only is Joyful Rogue running the Maya Curses, which is another poison removal scroll, I think. Is he also running Infectious Blight?
Oh, that's interesting.
He's also running...
counts- So Languid counts as enchantment for Earthborn Mystic.
Yes,
I've
it does. You didn't
not
know?
seen that interaction before. I
Yeah.
thought it would work. I just haven't
Play
seen
more
it actually in the
scrolls,
game.
scrub.
I need to play more scrolls. I'm a complete scrub, but that is kind of weird because you're nullifying the effect of Languid.
Only by 50%.
Well, by 50%, and they do get the card draw, but you know,
If it gets 2 out, then it's just
Yeah.
a bounce.
yeah, I knew it. I knew about the interaction. I just have never seen it like
By
that.
the way, this
So-
Joyful Rogue has to think here because Ilmaya Witch Doctor is really juicy here.
And he goes for it. He sacks the...
Ooh.
He has the damning curse if Oakblood just comes down,
Oh.
right?
I
That's...
don't know about sacrificing the brainless.
The brain
license.
lice. Well, damning
Ah.
curse instantly kills the wildling if should Oakblood come down. So he's got that contingency. He also cannot drop anything besides the wildling or it dies.
But like, if you at this point, it's like he has to be forced into doing the Oakling because Joyful Rogue's behind on board. Like,
Well, the thing is, Joyful Rogue has the Oblivion Seeker, so you gotta count in for the fact if that dies, he has 2 extra cards. He's basically stored 2 cards on the battlefield, and he's gonna get them in hand with 6
Yeah.
resources, which is where the decay gets really dangerous.
having
By the way, Ancestral Totem? That's gotta
Ooh.
be a sideboard, right?
no,
we
it's
can
the
check.
main deck. It's 2 of.
Wow, interesting.
What? Does he have any side? Does he have? Oh, I'm forgetting the name of scrolls now. You know what I mean? The
Rat
Wetland
King?
Rain.
Of course.
No,
yeah.
he doesn't. Does he?
Yes, he does.
Does he? In his main deck.
Yes.
So he runs Ancestral
two
Totem.
interaction here. Color Plant's Wildling has been cursed, so it gets the buff from the Earthborn Mystic.
And Carlpan's going full Idle Rush down. I don't know about that because Decay is ridiculously good at stalling the game out.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
don't know. It's kind of like a.
That's damn
And
close.
there goes 1 damage at least, and then Joyful Rogue moves down, and yeah, that's a lot of the damage gone from the board actually. It's not that threatening anymore. You just drop the tribesman, and then he has it, and then he covers 3 lanes and basically forces Joyful Rogue down, like Carlpan down. But he can't do that.
You think there's any way Color Plant can just power through the Death Ball anyways?
Oakblood is certainly a start.
Oakblood is definitely a good start to that.
I mean, he's gonna. I mean, he basically has no way to prevent the wildling from taking a redonkulous amount of damage anyway if he just stays there. And another curse being dropped on, that's gonna sting. That's gonna be 3 damage anyway.
He could just take half idle right now if he really wants to. But.
If he really wants to, but he nearly kills his Darkling in the process.
Yeah, I don't know what play you can make here.
Okay, so Carlpan's just thinking things over. What do you do here? I mean, Oakblood is really juicy right now, but you've got to consider
Actually-
the possibility of another damning
Yeah,
curse.
He can just take his second idol now.
What? No!
Like-
Oh,
Oh.
That's...
oh.
Oh.
Best play. He knows that's a mistake.
yeah.
Ow!
What
That's
is with-
not a sting.
Every Scrolls tournament, we have to have misplays. Why?
Because people get the jitters.
Ah. Misplays.
The misplays. That stings a lot, especially because he just threw the Oakblood. Ow, ow,
The Scrolls
ow,
is
ow.
a game full of misplays. It's just like there's so much going on. So
Yes, but still that was
Say the
pretty
feet.
bad. Okay, so what do you do here? You probably sacrifice the Necrogen and you just put more presses on the board. You start hogging the middle.
so it's kind of funny that he oak blooded the Kinfolk Ranger.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
don't-
gonna die. That's a
Yeah.
plus, and he doesn't lose 2 units from it. But I think Joyful Rogue just takes the middle.
I just think that's not a very good use of the Oak Blood because like most units have enough attack to break through an Oak Blood by themselves. But what makes it good on the Wildling is that it's attacking every turn and then damage doesn't.
New Plant does it again. Nope.
Yeah.
Does it again.
The new plant. It strikes.
See, Joyful Rogue's debating right now whether he wants to move down or not because a rally because some kind of rally play here could screw him over a lot.
It could, but he doesn't really...
Well,
I mean, the thing...
actually,
Does
it's
he have to
mathematically impossible for what Carlpan has and his sideboarding for him to break through. Like,
Yeah, I think moving down might be the best play here because you want that big decay death ball
yes, but
against growth.
yeah, he kind of wants to just spread himself and hawk the board right now. The
Yeah.
really annoying thing right now is Joyful Rogue doesn't exactly have an ideal place to go right now.
So it's
I
the
guess,
curse
like,
and the blood of
just-
the wolf.
Elects to stay in place, and the timer runs out.
Does Joyful Rogue have to care about anything that doesn't immediately kill his Witch Doctor right now? Because he
Well,
has
he wants
Witch
to protect
Doctor
his harvester.
live.
He wants to
He has
protect his
Witch Doctor
harvester.
live against a growth deck.
Color Plant's just getting owned by his deck right now. Gets a Wildling, doesn't get Oakblood. Gets Oakblood, Wildling dies.
Well, if he hadn't played
Sacrifices
the
Oakblood,
Oakblood.
gets Wildling.
If he hadn't picked the strange Oakblood player on the Kinfolk Ranger, then that would have been a possibility. Hmm. Oh. I don't see what Colour Plant can do here. He's definitely not out of the game, but he's
So
in a
if
kind
Colour
of strange
Plant-
position.
He's not out of the game. There's definitely things that can happen right now.
Hmm.
I mean, he can't break through to the Witch Doctor though, and that's just like wah moment.
So if Plant didn't blow up his own Wildling, what would the board look like right now?
Probably a lot more dangerous, but then again, the Wildling could have been double cursed, so it would have dealt 4 damage to itself every single time a unit was summoned around it, so it probably would have died anyway.
I don't want to count Plant out, but I think we're going to a game 3.
Yeah, don't count him out. This could definitely turn around with a good rally. He does play rally, right? He doesn't play. Oh, he does. Okay.
I mean, he is playing RN growth, so
Okay, so here he moves down now, right? And then he infectious blights the Vader of the Wild to minimize the chances of just top decking into a rally. Because rally is really what kills him here, if anything.
Does he want? I don't think he wants to move down though, because he's trying to block that 9 health idol.
He shouldn't try to block that 9 health idol though. That's
But
not-
if he moves down,
he threatens the majority of the board, which
he
is
does. But if Colour Plant can make a play, then he moves the Kinfolk Ranger and the Rugged Wolf down, moves the Great Wolf up, and takes out the enemy.
all see plays.
the Badgers are not very partial to their own. There are many new Plant comments.
There are many comments. Yes,
It's
great.
so sad.
Ah,
Badgers have no mercy.
Colour Plant top deck really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what Carl Plant needs right now, this very moment, this game, right now, is a rally. Then he can start turning it around. Crimson Bull, okay, not great. Haste units, fine, but a rally is really what he needs right now, because that 6
What's
attack
Colour
relentless
Plant
pretty
need
much
right-
needs to go now. And
There
he
we
gets
go.
it.
He gets it. He doesn't have enough resources for Rally Crimson, but Rally will do it.
I mean,
What Colour
this is
Plant
fine.
needs right now is Budding Retreat and God Hand.
Well,
What I really would have liked to see Joyful Rogue do in this situation was realize that Rally was the only thing that was going to screw him over, and then just kill the Vader of the Wild to make sure there was only one card that could have been able to be Rally there. But then again, it was a gamble that Joyful Rogue was probably comfortable making anyway. So let's see what happens.
it depends what he wants to do with that Great Wolf.
I mean, 1 damage from the Kinfolk Ranger goes on to that, which means that the Ilmaya Witch Doctor takes 3, and then the Husk dies, and then things don't go off. He elects to kill the Harvester.
You know, that's probably the best play he can make here.
That is probably the best play. Gives a little bit of card draw to Joyful Rogue, which is never a good thing against the Cape, but that Oblivion Seeker has to die at some point anyway. And then...
Husk time.
Yeah.
So the shields are down for the Witch Doctor. How important do you think it is for him to just kill it next turn?
Oh, Maya Curse could be an interesting thing right here.
He can taint Fire Curse. Ooh.
Ooh.
Take Maya Curse and Curse with Cursemonger.
Thing is, he has a kind of interesting setup of units.
Yeah.
He's got a Vader, he's
I mean-
got human, and he's got beasts.
The dream here, I think he Bloodline taints the wolves. Yeah, he sacrifices Bloodline
Yeah.
taints the wolves and then instantly kills the Great Wolf with poison.
Infectious
Blow
Blight.
him up.
That's a strong play.
And
That's
then, if Color
Get
Plant
that.
groups up, that's just going to be a lot of ouch.
even just stacking the curse, just insta kills the Great Wolf.
So,
It's already done the damage, but this is definitely gonna turn the tides
so
again.
if you're joyful, do you put damage on the Ranger, or you just let him kill a wolf?
The
Just like
Rangers,
Pilgrim.
the wolves are what's dangerous right now, honestly. That and the ancestral totems probably need to die at some point.
That
Right,
was a
looks-
really, really poor infectious blight. It could have gone to any of those units, but it goes to the one unit that's got Oak Blood magic armor.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate for Joyful Rogue.
Oh,
If he has the attack damage and Killer Plant has a unit with magic armor, he could have just put the damage on the unit with magic armor, so he can deal with it sooner. And now he's stuck with a useless infectious blight.
On the bright side, he still does have the Maya curse, but Calapan is wisely playing around that.
Mhm.
Oh, this world is starting to get really, really scary.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think he needs to soul steal one of the Vatas. Probably the one down low. Just to limit the amount of things. Because Calapan effectively only has 4 resources. He's only being able to pull off all these plays because he has those Vatas out.
So Joyful Rogue's in a position where he probably expects it, but Color Plant has Crimson Bull for next turn, and what is he going to do about it?
Your microphone's doing things. Eradicate!
Yep.
That is why. Ah, the ghost of Palkeet's microphone.
This is a really bad position because no matter what happens, I think Joyful Rogue might actually die next turn.
Yeah, that's the thing, because Joyful Rogue's in a position where he's got such a resource lead over his opponent, and he's playing Decay. He can just fill the board with creatures, tank out
But he's
whatever
not getting
Colour
the
Plant wants to
creatures.
throw down. But he goes for the Necro then. It kills all the cursed units.
It does, but still.
I mean, all,
Works, I
all,
guess.
all Joyful needs to do is hang on. Really.
I don't know.
He needs to stop Colour Plant making some Crimson Bull plays that win the game.
I
Need an
mean,
extra
Color-
units at the board.
Colourplan's just getting these great trades because of that Ancestral Totem in the bottom. It's going to be able to drop another one, and Joyful Rogue just can't deal with him.
Yeah, they've always been good against Decay. Really. That
I think-
attack in a structure. And he's got another one.
I think that was a series of misplays by Joyful Rogue that's just going to allow Color Plant
should
back
have-
in.
I feel like he should have been way more aggressive with the units he had when he had the Witch Doctor and a Healthy Meat. He just moved down and threatened everything. But he
that
played more
probably
passive.
would have just got him chomped up by the Crimson Bull. and
Also,
dead
he
by
probably
Planet
needed
Dead.
to neutralize the Vatas of the Wild when he had the chance.
Yeah, the Vatas of the Wild. This is the longest I've seen Vatas of the Wild survive in a game, just for months. Just 3 of them just sat on the board, giving him those resources.
Sure,
And he's just making plays with them.
Yeah, it's now. Is Color Plant playing God Hand?
Probably.
Is he sideboarding it?
No. Don't think
So one of the Vaders goes down.
No,
but
no God Hand.
No God Hand sideboard, but he does sideboard Ancestral Pact. Interesting.
Yeah, Ancestral Pact
Wait,
is
so awkward.
interesting.
And I mean, Joyful Rogue Sport suddenly looks a bit scary again. We've got to keep that in mind. But he has a 5 attack Relentless unit that he can just use now.
The Skythorn is in.
Yeah.
Skythorn is definitely an interesting thing to have put in your deck.
So
Well, he's playing an aggressive growth style deck. It's an idea.
It's an idea, but people have pretty much written that scroll off as not good enough right now.
But-
Right
the big
now.
part of playing Skythorn is like you have to drop something on the same turn. So I guess he has
Okay.
Ragged Wolves and Vetter of the Wild. But
You saw a Quake in there.
There was a Quake in there. He does run a
yeah.
single Quake. And you're right. Look at the deck list on the side. We have them there for a reason.
he just
He definitely
sacrificed
has a
Quake
Quake.
because it's very, very awkward in this situation.
Oh, God.
It'd do more damage to him than it would do to Joyful.
It would allow him to kill a Harvester, and then the other Harvester would go off immediately next turn, but...
So
Yeah, with the Kinfolk, he snipes the idol.
And then things go down next turn with Crimson Bull.
Yeah, Colour Plant's in a really strong position. He's kept the Ancestral Packs around, he's kept the Vatas of the Wild around. They're just giving him crazy good trades.
Ancestral Totem.
Yeah, I meant to say that.
I think he is playing packs in the sideboard.
He is playing packs in the sideboard, yeah. But
Yes,
I meant to say something else. Excuse me.
Very saucy sideboarding decisions by Color Plant.
Mm-hmm.
All the card draw.
He doesn't win this turn, I think.
He could
He has
He's
double
Right,
crimson.
still doesn't win this
Ragged
turn.
Wolf and the Rat King.
Wait,
next.
the Ragged Wolf gets 5 attack with Crimson Bull. Plus the 2, he wins.
Yep.
Yep, he wins. He just needs
Oh,
to
wait.
see the play.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
he
does
can't
get
play
5
both
attack.
wolves.
What, Ragged Crimson?
Ragged Crimson
Yeah.
plus the 2 Ancestral Totem, which are a permanent Crimson Bull. So that's a plus 4 attack to everything on the board if he plays the Crimson Bull. Which means that the Kinfolk Ranger gets 2 attack, and the Ragged Wolf
Wait.
gets 5 attack.
The Kinfolk Ranger has 2 languages on it.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think
2 attack plus 2 from the...
No, no, that works. Yeah, Ragged Wolf Crimson, because yeah, no, that works. That's GG.
If he sees it, he wins. If he doesn't, we're just gonna have Nuke planned for the
I
rest
would
of the
like,
tournament.
yeah, I'd like to think Colour Plant would see the play. He's thinking about it, and yeah, he's seen
He
it.
sees it, Nuke
GG.
planned is slightly
New
less
plan
than...
is not so noob.
And that's 2-0s. Pretty much
2-0?
2-0 for everyone. And now we have for
So-
our semi-finals, we have Blinky versus Anti-Red and Color Plant versus Ghost Bomb. We have
Uh-huh.
Color Plant, the guiltless champion, the Dark Horse, going up against the 3 badges. So what do you think? We've already spectated a Blinky match, right? So I think we need to give...
We've already
and we've already spectated a Color Plant match. So which one do we think? Which one do we want
let's
to
watch
watch?
Anti-Rad, so there can be only one.
What's Anti-Red
Ghost
playing?
Colour Plant, though. I think Ghost Bomb Colour Plant's going to be a more interesting match because it's going to
Ghost
be
Bomb
growth.
Colour- Growth versus
So do
Energy
we-
is a really dynamic matchup. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
So
What's
do we
Anti-Red
root for
playing?
Ghost Bomb because he's not a Badger? He's the
Yes.
only non-Badger left?
Yeah, sure,
Yes.
why not?
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
I vote for
Besides, Anti-Red's playing Growth, so we'd have another Growth versus Decay game. So for the sake of variety, I think we take the Growth versus Energy while we have the chance.
I have a tendency to root for Anti-Rad, but,
Stop rooting for Anti-Red. He's a horrible person.
he's so good. But this situation,
Having flashbacks.
since it's all Badgers and Ghost Bomb, I think we have to root for Ghost Bomb. Getting the revenge.
Okay.
Alright, so we're watching Ghost Bomb
So-
cut off.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now, I guess it's time we can talk about some decks.
Yes. Okay. We haven't even discussed
Although-
Ghost Bomb's deck.
It might take a while for those matches to come up, so we've got some time. Yeah, we've got some time.
You've got some time. Ghost Bomb's match isn't even exactly
Yeah.
on
Exactly.
the display
Colour
yet. So you've got
Ghost.
time. You've got time.
So Ghost Bomb's deck is pretty much a ranged energy. Nothing too exceptional. I'd say it's going to be better than Excalibur's deck, only because he's not going for those crazy Thea plays.
Yes, Ghost Bomb's
Sure.
deck is interesting in the fact that it has... It's basically Ghost Bombs. It's the only time we'll ever see Ghost Bomb sharing one of his decks ever.
What?
He's generally secretive about them.
Well, it's played
Yeah.
to his benefit, hasn't it?
Yes, I mean, his decks look really solid. I mean, look at this.
Has
We've got...
Ghost Bomb
Top order.
ever played anything different?
He's
like-
always been an energy guy.
Yeah, ranged energy and mess.
Okay,
Temp
he is...
order.
Oh, sorry,
Temp order
go ahead.
feels like being a tyrant, but
Okay, things that stand out to me here is the Cover Automaton, the Fury, the one single lone sudden eruption, and the lack of Thea.
Lack of Thea. And what you were saying before.
And the lack
the-
and the lack of the Elders in the actual deck.
But they are in the
I'm actually
sideboard.
No
I'm actually
desperations either.
surprised again that the desperations aren't in the main board, and
Yeah,
that
since
the violent dispersals are.
Just a second explanation of the format. We've got everyone who got into this tournament had a single deck and then that 10-card sideboard, which they're now using to play against each other. The first match is always going to be the vanilla decks out to the side, and then after that they can just start splashing in and switching out cards with the sideboard. And semifinals are still best of 3. So what's Anti-Red's deck looking like?
Anti-red?
Yeah.
I thought it was Blinky anti-red.
I'm sorry. I think that I'm watching the stream. Shoot.
I'm watching this. I'm very confused.
Colorplan, what's Colorplan's deck
What?
we've already discussed?
Colourplan's
Cubes!
deck. Cubes! You have one job. Manage your damn tournament. Okay. Okay, it's Colourplank Ghost Bomb according to the bracket, so we'll stick with that, I guess.
Okay, but yeah, Colorplan's deck is, again, very stable standard.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it in action there. It's pretty aggro growth. It's the Wildling Oakblood variant, so it's going to be pretty strong. He's got one Quake in there to deal with anything, but honestly, I don't think he's too inclined to Quake because he's got Ancestral Totems and Vator of the Wild in there, which we really saw kind of put to use last game. But against an energy player, when you've got that removal, you've got the
Ancestral Totems are bad versus energy.
They're really bad in this matchup. Like
Thunder Surge, Sudden Eruption, Spark, Burn, all these 2-attack piercings.
The interesting thing being that you can't actually use his
can't
sideboard in the first match, so I feel like we've got he's got an uphill climb.
Well,
Putting
Oakling
it
wrecks
lightly.
energy in general. Less so range than structures, but still no reliable way to actually remove it outside of some kind of crazy bombardment plays, which you can usually see coming unless Ghost Bomb is insane and goes up to 8 resources. Which it usually does, actually. Okay, that's dangerous. Okay, Great Wolf is also a very interesting addition to Colorplan's deck. That's going to be a prime violent dispersal target. Anything else? Yeah. No, it's very standard run of the mill. The Quake is probably also going to be a dead card most of the time because, well, the thing about that's bad against the K for ranged energy is everything has 3 health. The thing that's good for ranged energy versus growth is that everything has 3 health.
Yeah. I feel like that's going to be... I don't think Quake is a dead card here because so many of Ghost Bomb's units just either instantly die or become Ragged Wolf fodder.
And the game is up pretty much now.
Yeah.
Color Ghost, here we go. Starting hands.
Ghost goes, and let's see what they've got. Colorplant has Vader of the Wild into Wildling, into Oakblood, which is scary.
Yeah, that's a pretty good first hand.
That's the dream hand.
There's not much more you can hope for in that hand. That's pretty good.
I mean, he could have a Crimson Bull and draw dead cards.
I mean, now he even sees what he has to sacrifice here. That's how I feel for Ghost Bomb right now. That's gonna be difficult. He can Iron Whip the Vader before the Oakblood comes out.
He can, but that's only stopping the Oakblood.
So do you,
and the Breaker comes out instead.
Exactly.
It's a bit of a tough hand.
I mean, Ghost Bomb's hand is not bad. It's just Colorplant's hand is the ideal scenario for that deck.
Yeah, but you kind of always got to assume that with growth because since the beginning of beta, there are just games where every dominant growth deck just has a hand that is unbeatable.
I mean, right now, Colorplank Ghost Bomb can actually stop the combo for a bit if he wants to. And
yeah, he can Iron Whip that Vader, but he's going to like to play Gun Automaton.
I mean, I hope Ghost Bomb is confident in his abilities to deal with early Oakblood. Because here it comes.
There it is. The 0-1-10 with Magic Armor 1. With a Wetland Ranger.
Ghost Bomb has to play to his Violent... his Violent Dispersal doesn't work. I'm dumb.
It does. It deals 7 damage. That's good. 7 damage is okay.
That's good. That's good when he has a board to put other damage on it.
I mean...
But Ghost Bomb doesn't have a board yet, so he can't fight back yet.
I mean, he has the Canonetta plus the Iron Whip, so at least if Colorplant doesn't totally stack his board, which I don't think he's gonna do, he can take out the Vader, and that's good. Also, Colorplant doesn't have a Rat King in his hand, so it's...
Yeah, but
the Wild
how good is dealing with that Vader if you don't have a board to mop everything else up? Like, I'm not saying Ghost Bomb's dead in the water, but
I mean,
get
I mean,
Wetland Ranger is also very, very good here.
it is. It definitely is.
Mm-hmm.
So
mean,
now
right-
he's got this constant barrage of pressure, and it's really hard to deal with. And Ghost Bomb has no board to stack with his removal.
I mean, he can go up to 4 resources and then play 2 units, which is going to be great for board pressure, and it also puts Color Plant in an uneasy situation. He elects to immediately kill the Vader. Smart play. He doesn't want a repeat of the last game we saw with Color Plant, those Vaders being the MVP.
So,
Well-
do you just set up the Dust Runner here and go for scrolls, or do you keep ramping up your resources? And he goes for the scrolls.
Yeah, he needs to respond to the early pressure in some way.
He can't do that on 3 resources, though.
No,
Well, Color
but-
Plant's on 3 resources as well, so I mean, he has a little bit of time, and Wildling's not unstoppable yet. It's getting there slowly. It's going to have 3
slowly
attack next
working its
turn.
way out. I mean,
The thing is, it's not just the Wildling anymore. It's he has the Ranger and the Wildling. That is
he decides to move down.
really hard.
I mean, he can safely do so. I mean, he wrecks the board next turn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Crazy Fury.
if only
He
those
sticks at
units
3,
were
man.
switched.
Well,
Pump,
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, this is just one of those times where people are just gonna be like, you should nerf the shit out of this deck.
It isn't
Well-
really nerfing. It's just magic armor wasn't supposed to work like that, and
yeah.
the dev said it wasn't supposed to work like
And
that.
yeah, but it's good that it works like that. It's just that Color Plant got the ideal scenario to get it out.
And there's the rat string.
in
and
the
now
context of the
it's-
tournament, it's really funny, but it's just
Uh,
I understand why people are butthurt about it.
well, yeah, you can understand, but you have to admit that was the perfect opening.
Yeah,
The colour
that
plan.
was ideal.
Like, you can't
situation.
argue with luck, no matter how balanced the game is. If there's luck involved, there's a chance for crazy lucky plays.
Well, yes and no. Like the thing about growth that like makes it frustrating sometimes is growth just has such. A lot of people say that it has such RNG power, whereas like the other resources, they have a little bit.
Yeah,
Of
Ghost Bomb's just like,
Ghost Bomb
nope,
just-
nope, not dealing with this. And
Yep.
quite frankly, I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. I mean,
Next
So do you
game is
think
up in
that-
10 seconds. What do you think is going to sideboard? You have 5 seconds.
something.
Okay, go!
Let's see if nut draws again.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good opening hand, sort of ish. Double
Eh.
Dust Runner is good against growth. And no.
Yeah, it was good that he tossed it because Cannonetta and Spark are much better than what he had.
And,
Now
and leads into Burn, which is good.
Yeah. But now he doesn't have many units to play, so see how that works.
Cubes, switch it over. Game's up. Okay.
Ooh,
Stream delays is
nasty.
funny.
Yep, it's funny. It's fine. We can just cast it.
No, this is stressful. We're supposed to stress you out. Are you stressed yet? Please be stressed.
We have the Kinfolk Brave. That is an
Kin-
option here.
But
But
it's
he
gonna
saps it.
immediate. I mean, Kinfolk Brave would immediately die, so Kinfolk Brave is the better play here.
It's the better play.
I mean, that's a really smart. That's really smart from.
It's what we were talking about in the last match. It's
So which route does he
preempting your
go?
opponent.
Does he go the Forge route or he goes the Cannonetta route?
Interesting. Yeah, I think Cannonetta's great because he has the Machinate and he can just burn that Kinfolk Raider to smithereens next turn.
He has the hand.
He has the hand
it's also,
Cannonetta.
If Color Plant walks into the free unit damage from piercing, then he's going to put himself in a bad position no matter what. So Cannonetta is.
I find it funny that Ghost Bomb doesn't try and take the middle with the hand. Yes, I mean, look at that. That right now, Ghost Bomb is getting the dream hand, not Color Plant.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think Ghost Bomb should move up and put down the cannon, or what?
I think he should move up and then he should put down the burn.
Takes. I think. Do you want to keep
Does-
Spark around?